Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is February 15th, 2025, and reports were circulating that Xavi could have a new job in the Mexican League. Also, Barcelona are preparing themselves for a new wave of contract renewals. And finally, Deco has hinted at the possibility of Wojciech Szczesny staying longer. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Now, I begin this video with the report that was circulating social media outlets stating that Xavi Hernandez could have a new job in the Mexican League, more specifically Monterrey. Now, the report stated that Monterrey were looking to offload, or I should say sack, their coach Martin De Michelis, and that Xavi Hernandez was going to replace De Michelis as Monterrey's coach. And the report went even further to state that Xavi Hernandez had actually traveled in Mexico and had been spotted by the media in Mexico, or in Monterrey more specifically, to try to finalize his signing for Monterrey as their new head coach. And while immediately after this report came out, Xavi Hernandez and his entourage completely denied this report. And in fact, they weren't even in Mexico. He was actually in Barcelona when he denied this. He did travel to Mexico at the end of last year, but that was for completely separate reasons. And no, Xavi is not going to be Monterrey's new coach. As Xavi has stated in the past, he wants to take this whole year off, and he's not going to think about coaching until the summer. Once the summer arrives, then Xavi will explore his options. But for now, Xavi is focused on having a year off, on spending time with his family, with his wife, with his kids, with his loved ones. So no, Xavi will not be heading to the Liga MX, or maybe he will in the future. But as of now, February 15th, he is not heading there. Anyways, on to the next bit of news, because we have been talking about contract renewals. Barcelona have been hard at work renewing the most important players currently in their squad. Of course, I did share this chart with you a few days ago in a previous video that shows all the contract renewals that Barcelona have completed. Pau Garcia until 2029, Alejandro Valde until 2028, Marc Casado until 2028, Xavi until 2030. Right now, they're working on the contract renewal of Marc Bernal until 2029, Pedri until 2030. Lamine Yamal will extend until 2030 once he turns 18 in July. And finally, Fermín López until 2029. And it's reported that now Barcelona are preparing themselves for a new wave of contract renewals, starting with Jules Koundé, the 26-year-old right back who has become irreplaceable for Hansi Flick. Yes, the word comes straight from the German coach, where it's reported that Flick considers Jules Koundé an irreplaceable player. And Barcelona consider him an incredibly important player, one of the cornerstones of Hansi Flick's project. So far, he has featured in 36 matches, scoring 3 goals and providing 7 assists, which is pretty impressive for a defender. And of course, giving Koundé is important to Flick. Barcelona want to extend his contract, which expires in the summer of 2027. Now, Koundé will be one of the next players that Barcelona will work on renewing. Of course, since his contract does not expire until 2027, Barcelona have not contacted the player yet. They know they have time. They have another 2.5 years, but he is next on the list. Of course, we do have Íñigo Martínez, who Barcelona have already agreed to extend his contract, but they need to find financial fair play. But once that's done, Jules Koundé will be next on the list. But again, the club haven't contacted him yet because there's still time until 2027. Now, the next player that Barcelona will also look to renew his contract is, of course, Coutinho. But before we talk about Coutinho, I would like to remind you first to please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. If y'all looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kids, Kickback, or Fanatics. If y'all looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. You click on them, you get access to some pretty cool deals and offers. Anyways, let's get back to the news, because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona want to, of course, offer Coutinho a contract renewal. The 28-year-old winger who has become indispensable for Hansi Flick, completely vital for Flick's project, and one of the best players in the world currently. His contract expires in 2027, and of course, Barcelona want to extend his contract because he is important, and of course, as a thank you for everything he has been doing for the club, they want to give him more years, increase it by at least 2 to 3 more years, and of course, give him a salary increase because the Brazilian deserves it after the spectacular season that he's currently having. In fact, he has already scored 24 goals and provided 15 assists. That's absolute insanity. 24 goals and 15 assists. And to think that people used to come to this channel and tell me, Mo, Raphinha is Barca level. He has scored 10 goals. Apparently that was Barca level. No, my friends. That was not Barca level. This is Barca level. 24 goals and 13 assists. 15 assists. 24 goals and 15 assists. That is crazy. That's what Barca level looks like. That's what greatness looks like. See what happens when you're not a mediocre fan and just demand mediocrity out of players? When you demand excellence, this is what excellence looks like. So please remember that next time a player is not performing, don't just look for excuses to defend them. Don't just do mental gymnastics and bend over backwards to try to defend that performance. Demand the best, because when our players are doing the best, they're giving their best, our team does our best. Look at Raphinha. Total transformation. And look how the team is doing, partly thanks to Raphinha. Because when our players do great, our team does great. So remember that and stop defending mediocrity. Start demanding greatness. Now, the next player whose contract expires in 2027 is Ferran Torres. He, the 24-year-old, has so far featured in 25 matches, and during this 25 matches has scored 10 goals and provided 3 assists, which is actually pretty impressive for a player who has played very little minutes. And as I mentioned at the beginning, his contract does expire until 2027. But unlike Jules Koundé and Raphinha, we don't know whether Barcelona want to renew the contract of Ferran or not. For now, we haven't heard anything. Of course, Ferran Torres was on the exit list for a very long time. Barcelona were looking to offload him, but he kept insisting on staying. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. I'm sure Flick is going to have a big say on whether he stays or not. But for now, no news on whether Barcelona will renew Ferran Torres or not. And of course, the reason I mention him because his contract also expires in 2027, like Koundé and like Raphinha. And Barcelona have already decided to renew Koundé and Raphinha. But no news on Ferran Torres yet. Now, speaking of contract renewals, we will end today's video with the news that Deco has hinted at the possibility of Wojciech Szczesny staying at the club. And this is what Deco had to say in his most recent interview that he did regarding the Polish goalkeeper. If he is happy, he is a player to keep in mind because he can give us a lot next year. I don't know his plans yet. We haven't spoken, but we will surely speak soon. Now, as you know, Szczesny's contract expires at the end of the season. Barcelona only signed him for 1 season in order to replace the injured Ter Stegen. The plan was always that Szczesny covers for Ter Stegen comes back, Szczesny goes back into retirement. But now with these statements from Deco saying that that Szczesny could offer us a lot next season, looks like there is the possibility of Barcelona extending the stay of the Polish goalkeeper, which of course begs the question: do you guys want to see Szczesny extend his contract? Yes, no? Let me know down below. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload 2 other videos before this one, so make sure to check them out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.